Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as is each and every time we broadcast, is Tim Henderson. Tim, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing wonderful. How about yourself, buddy?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. We are signed in for action here tonight at the Kokomo Speedway with the Reigel Promotions Esports Extreme Micro Tour for race number 4 in this season. Jacob Wilson, the car that is showing on your screen right now in the 51 machine, has set the quickest lap time in practice at a 12:03. Practice is just wrapping up. We're going to roll right into the qualifying session. We'll get to see who sets tonight's quick time. And let's see what driver heads out onto the racetrack first. 5 minutes are on the clock. Looks like it's going to be Jesse Holcomb in the number 66 machine. Didn't see him race last week, so the first time you're seeing him here live on the Buckeye Racing Network. He takes the green flag. Also, Aaron Huffaker, Dakota Osborne, Aiden Schramm, Jacob Wilson, Mason Setting all on the racetrack as well, starting their qualifying runs. Lap 1 complete for Jesse. That's a lap of 12:07.8. Aaron Huffaker is going to cross the line. He goes quickest at a 12:68. Dakota Osborne a 12:74. Jesse's lap 2 picks up to a 12:75. Armando Melgoza in the 5:31 is out there. Aiden Schramm goes quickest by a couple tenths at a 12:30. Armando starting his first official lap. Gearing goes a long way. Tim, you were experiencing some of that as you were test driving the car in the practice session a little bit ago. What did you notice?
I noticed that I wasn't really in the car. I was just listening to the differences in the pitches, like the engine pitch that everyone else when they rolled by my camera here. I noticed a lot of them were possibly in a lower gear with hitting a higher RPM than some of the others. If this is open, I'm not sure, but they all seem different.
Yeah, I've noticed that too on the stream. You definitely can hear the different pitch in these motors, and it kind of is a little bit of a telltale sign. These drivers are changing those gear ratios. The higher the pitch, or the lower the pitch, there's different gear ratios in these cars these drivers are choosing to run tonight. Dylan McKee coming around to complete his first lap. Lap number 1 for Dylan is a 12:56, puts him 6th quick. Jimbo Rooney, the last car out on the racetrack. Lap 2 for Dylan. Does he improve? Yes, he does. 12:48 goes to number 2 on the board. Lap number 2 for Jimbo. He does improve to a 12:45 and puts him 2nd on the board. So 13 cars have taken a time. Here, a little bit of time left in tonight's qualifying session. We should see some racing action here shortly. Although, Tim, Aiden Schramm says there is no change in the gear ratios, but people are changing which gear they run in. Some, he says, are running 2nd gear, and some are running 3rd. And he says some people he thinks are running 4th as well. Thanks for the info, Aiden. It almost sounded like it was different gear ratios. I haven't driven these cars a whole lot to know that you can actually shift through 4 different gears while driving them. So, yeah, good heads up. Thanks for the heads up there. Well, Tim, one thing's for sure, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I just I got put into school right there.
Yeah, in a roundabout way we both did. There's no doubt about that. But we're going to take a look at the starting lineup for the first heat race of the night. Row number 1 is going to be Jacob Wilson and Trevor McCoy. Row 2, Dylan McKee and Aiden Schramm. Row number 3 is going to be Aaron Huffaker and Jesse Holcomb. And row 4 is going to be Russell Harold. All right. As we are high above the Kokomo Speedway, cars will take a couple of quick pace laps here. We will get underway. Nobody has to worry about any transfer battles as there's 13 cars signed in for action. Everybody will make the feature and collect their championship points as I believe at the halfway point of the season, or just a little bit beyond. I think it's an 8-week season. So tonight the halfway point. We are filling in for the regular broadcasters in the series over on Reigel Promotions Esports. Filled in for last week and this week, and the coverage next week will turn back over to Reigel Promotions Esports YouTube channel. Jacob Wilson smashes on the gas. Green flag is in the air, heat 1, and we are 3 wide for the second spot. Dylan McKee, Trevor McCoy, Aiden Schramm were 3 wide for a moment. McKee and McCoy. Interesting last names there. Close enough together. It kind of provides a tongue twister. They're still side by side. McCoy with a little bit of the advantage as they work down the front straightaway, and side by side is going to be Schramm and McKee. McKee down on the bottom, Schramm working the outside. Then you got Aaron Huffaker, Jesse Holcomb, Russell Harold rounding out the field. Back up front, Aiden Schramm has caught the 0-0 of Trevor McCoy. Big time slide job through 3 and 4, but McCoy was able to turn back underneath him with his charge down through 1 and 2, Tim.
Yep, Schramm tried to send it off in through 1 again. Does not get a good run out of the corner. Has to check up because the battle is on again. For second, McCoy outside. Schramm moves up, slides right in front of the nose. McCoy has to check up just a little bit, allows McKee to close the gap, trying to take over that 3rd place position as he tries to go around the outside the long way around.
White flag already in the air. Jacob Wilson works through 3 and 4. Schramm trying to throw a haymaker there. Didn't work out, but a great run for Schramm. Jacob Wilson takes the win in heat 1, and Trevor McCoy rounds out the podium, holding off the 12 machine of Dylan McKee. Jesse Holcomb, Aaron Huffaker, Russell Harold rounds out the 7 drivers to start heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 is going to be Dakota Osborne and Mason Setting on the front row, then Jamie Howell and Jimbo Rooney, row 2, and then Armando Melgoza and Dean Reynolds in row number 3. Cars all gridded up, ready to go behind tonight's pace truck. They start slowly rolling around for a couple of pace laps. Looks like Dean Reynolds joining the series tonight. Didn't race with them last week. He's in the number 79 machine. From your neck of the woods, I believe, Tim.
Where's he from?
North Syracuse, it says.
Oh, wow. He's like 5 minutes away from me.
Neighbors, how about that?
Yeah, there you go.
All right, the pace truck's off. Tim, get us going in heat 2.
Dakota Osborne's going to lead this heat 2 pack all the way down the backstretch through 3 and 4 as he rolls down the stretch and he fires very calmly going into 1 here. Mason setting all the way around the outside, trying to complete the pass on Jamie Howell for second, as it looks like Howell's going to battle back. Rooney's going to try and take a peek to the inside of both of them as they both make contact.
Uh-oh.
Rooney up, Mason setting into the wall.
Wow. Yeah, we'll have to go back and maybe decipher that a little more here. We'll keep an eye on Jimbo Rooney and Mason setting. We went down into turn number 3. Setting in the 10 and the 11 got together. Jimbo got around him as the car slid up the hill a little bit right in front of the 10 of Setting's line, and Setting taps the 27, spins him out, and Mason Setting goes up into the concrete barrier and rides the wall down the front straightaway. So both cars getting some damage there in that one. Jimbo Rooney just getting spun. His damage should be very light, if really any at all. Already a quick yellow. Setting follows the pace truck in to the pit area. And the pace truck's already peeled off, so we will get back to green flag action here. To go to Osborne. Gets us back going for the restart. Now 2 laps complete. He's followed by the 11 machine of Jamie Howell. Third for now is Dean Reynolds. Fourth, Armando Melgoza. And fifth is Jimbo Rooney, who went for that spin. Oh, Melgoza got loose out of the corner, and Jimbo Rooney makes contact with him. Both cars go for a spin down the front straightaway. They're both trying to get back going. No yellow flag. We stay under green. But they did lose a ton of time, as here comes Dakota Osborne flashing by the start-finish line at the halfway point. Our top 3 single file. And then quite a big gap back to Jimbo Rooney and Armando Melgoza. Now just 2 laps to go for Dakota Osborne in that number 9 machine. He's held about a half-second advantage the entire time from the restart over Jamie Howell. Howell ships it through 3 and 4, but he loses time on the exit as Dakota Osborne takes the white flag. Dakota Osborne works the bottom part of the racetrack out of turn number 4 across the line and wins heat 2. Jamie Howell second, Dean Reynolds across the line there in third. Here comes Jimbo Rooney now. He's going to cross the line in fourth. Armando Melgoza will be credited with fifth, and Mason Setting finishes sixth there in heat race number 2. Five-minute countdown clock is on as we get into tonight's warm-up session. Drivers begin to make their way onto the racetrack. In the meantime, while they work the track in a little bit more, we're going to step aside and get a few words from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, welcome back in here as our warm-up session is coming to a close. Aiden Schramm at the top of the board here in the practice session at a 12:24. Jimbo Rooney at 12:30. Dylan McKee at 49. Again, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Buckeye Racing Network here tonight. I know we're not the regular broadcaster for the series, but we sure appreciate each and every one of you tuning in, all the fans at home, drivers at home that have the broadcast on while racing. We certainly appreciate it. Checkered flag now waving on our warm-up session. We'll get to take a look at the starting lineup for our main event. Once that information becomes available, it is ready now. All right, row number 1. On the inside is going to be Jacob Wilson. Dakota Osborne to his outside. Row 2. The driver on the inside will be Aiden Schramm. Jamie Howell on his outside. Row 3 will be Trevor McCoy and Dean Reynolds. Row 4, Dylan McKee and Jimbo Rooney. Row 5 is going to be Jesse Holcomb and Armando Melgoza. Row 6 will be Aaron Huffaker and Mason Setting. In row number 7, I believe we just got one driver there, and that's going to be Russell Harold. 30 laps on the board, Tim. It is that time of the night where we pick our drivers to watch. Who are you going to have your eye on?
I am going to have my eye on Jamie Howell in that 11 machine. He starts 4th today. I think he can move up a couple spots and hopefully have a good night here.
That's a good pick here tonight. I'm going to be keeping my eye on that 12 machine of Dylan McKee. Starting on the inside of row number 4. Let us know out there in the chat who you guys are keeping an eye on here tonight as the pace truck is going to peel off this time. Jacob Wilson is going to lead us to green. 2 by 2 by 2. All drivers step on the gas. Green flag is in the air. We are rocking and rolling for 30 circuits around the Kokomo Speedway. Wilson already under fire from the 86 machine of Schramm as he dives it into turn number 3 and takes the race lead for a moment. Looks like they're going to battle down the front straightaway. Wilson still to his outside. Now Schramm into the race lead. Side by side is Dakota Wilson. Dakota Osborne.
12 goes around.
Dylan McKee went for a spin right there, kind of towards the front end of the field. Nobody else made contact with him. So Dylan very fortunate there. We'll go back and take a look at this. And you see Dylan was way down on the bottom through 1 and 2. Let's see exactly what happened into 3. Trying to do more of the same. Jacob Wilson just came down. He did not know Dylan was below him there. They touched wheels. Dylan goes for a spin cycle, and all the other drivers were able to get around and avoid him there. So great job to the rest of the drivers navigating their way around Dylan as he went for a spin. Looks like Jacob Wilson is going to get the EOL for causing the yellow flag. So he's going to pick up there in the 13th spot. McKee will restart in 12th. All right, pace truck is off. Single file. All drivers behind the 86 of Schramm. He fires. Green flag back in the air. Schramm, Osborne, and the battle is on for the third spot. You got Jamie Howell and Trevor McCoy there. Howell working the middle, McCoy working the bottom. McCoy gets loose through the slick, loses some momentum. Now he's going to be challenged on his outside for a moment there by Dean Reynolds. As now they go single file, and they're side by side just behind. Jimbo Rooney on the outside, Jesse Holcomb on the inside.
Whoa.
That was really close out of turn 4. Rooney with a good bit of momentum out of 4. He's going to look to the inside now, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. As they're really tight out of turn number 4. It looks like the drivers, Tim, are trying to be a little bit strategic to miss the slick patch through 3 and 4, as it looks like it's hurting some of their exit speed.
Dean Reynolds kind of jumped over that right rear. Jimbo Rooney was able to collect it and not hit that outside wall coming out of 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my goodness, who was right there behind him? I think that was Mason. No, that wasn't Mason Setting. That was Jesse Holcomb about made contact with the outside wall out of turn 4 the last time. Setting's trying to work his way by on the inside, but Holcomb with a great run through the center of 3 and 4 through the middle part of the racetrack. As they still are driving side by side for that 7th spot. Setting holding strong on the inside. Holcomb just hasn't quite been able to clear him completely yet. He does now. Holcomb's going to stay in 7th, Setting in 8th, and we'll have to try again as they're side by side a couple positions back. You got Armando Melgoza and Dylan McKee battling for a spot inside of the top 10. McKee improves the spot. Melgoza falls back and under fire from the 51 of Jacob Wilson. Quick check back up front with the leader, Hayden Schramm. That lead has shrunken up. It's just about a quarter of a second. Uh-oh, one car upside down the outside of turn number 4. And I believe it was our pole sitter tonight, Jacob Wilson, once again. We'll have to go back and see exactly what happened to him. You see him battling with Melgoza through 1 and 2. Let's see what happens in 3 and 4. Oh, Wilson makes contact with the tire there at the inside of 3 and 4, and the car goes for a crazy tumble up the racetrack and into the outside retaining wall. So unfortunately the tow truck had to come out and scoop up the 51 machine, and his car is in the work area. As it looks like the lights already go out on the pace truck, we are going to get a 2x2 double file restart. Tim, how about you get us going?
Oh, the pace truck almost got ran over by the front 2 here. Aiden Schramm's going to lead him as he fires almost immediately. Entering 3, he gets a great launch. He's out about a half a second here. I was looking in the back. There's a lot of battling going on, getting the elbows out as we have Jamie Howell absolutely just shut the door on Trevor McCoy for that 3rd place position.
Absolutely. McCoy, I think, or Howell got up into the outside wall a little bit there, so good thing he was able to keep control of that race car as we go back a couple of spots. You got Mason Setting and Dylan McKee side by side. McKee looking to improve another position. He does. McKee back into the 8th spot and is looking to pick up 7th as he's trying to reel in Holcomb just in front of him. Up front, it's been more of the same. Aiden Schramm still leads the way, but Dakota Osborne has been bound and determined to get up there and challenge Schramm as that lead is slowly creeping down ever so slightly. Just behind them, Jamie Howell. It's going to be under fire from the 00 machine of Trevor McCoy as they almost make contact through 1 and 2. McCoy has to slam on the brakes, and now He is under fire from Jimbo Rooney in a 27 just behind. Got a whole host of cars there. Dean Reynolds is going to be a part of this battle. It's going to be 3 wide maybe. No, they thought better of it, but it was just behind him there. At the line this time, just 10 circuits left in this one. Jamie Howell now has separated himself from those other drivers. And Jimbo Rooney has got a host of drivers behind him, the likes of Trevor McCoy, Dean Reynolds, Jesse Holcomb, Dylan McKee, and Mason Setting is back there as well. Quick check back up front. The lead has shrunk to about a quarter of a second between Schramm and Osborne. As I think this is shaping up to be a fantastic finish between those front two. Quickly back into the battle for the 4th spot. Trevor McCoy now has a great run underneath Jimbo Rooney. Let's see if he's able to do anything with it in these closing laps. Already 6 to go. I believe there was a little bit of contact between Holcomb and McKee as McKee looks underneath Holcomb for the 7th position. All single file. We go back up to a potential battle for the lead. At the line this time, just 4 laps remaining. Uh-oh, one car in the outside wall. I think that was our 3rd place runner, Howell. Gap hovering around the 0.3 of a second mark. Osborne trying to make a valiant run here towards the end. He's changing his lineup a little bit, trying to get any momentum he can on Schramm. 2 to go. Does Osborne have any time left to make something happen here? White flag in the air for Schramm. Osborne's going to drive deep into turn 1 and 2. He does cut a little bit off the advantage, but Schramm sitting comfortably through 3 and 4. Out of turn number 4, Aiden Schramm is going to take home the win here tonight at Kokomo. To go to Osborne will be 2nd. And Jamie Howell holds on for that final podium spot here tonight. We'll get to talk to our top 3 as the final car crosses the start-finish line. We'll take a look at our final results. And it seems like my results is not wanting to pull up, so we talked about our top 3. Jimbo Rooney was able to hold on for 4th. Trevor McCoy will be 5th. Dean Reynolds was able to hold on for 6th. Jesse Holcomb 7th. Mason Setting in 8th. Dylan McKee 9th. Aaron Huffaker 10th. Russell Harold 11th. Armando Mogoza 12th. And Jacob Wilson finishes tonight in the 13th spot. All right, if we can, we'll kick off our interviews tonight with talking to our top 3 when they are available. I do see our 3rd place finisher, Jamie Howell. Hey, Jamie, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
And 4.
All right, man. A good night for you, coming away with a podium position in the 3rd spot here tonight. Stayed towards the front all feature long, had a great heat race. Tell us a little bit about your night. Was there anything you were struggling with or anything you needed extra out of the car to get up there and contend for the win?
Yeah, I need a little more forward bite, but it's my first top 3 of the season. I've been battling every single race with Dylan McKee for a top 3, and he's gotten me the last, was this our 5th race of the season, so he's got me the last 4. So I finally was able to get the top 3 over him this time. It was just a slick track, so just trying to manage and get the forward bite off the corners, trying to hang with was it Aiden and Dakota. So all in all, good race.
Absolutely, a fantastic run for you here tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask Jamie?
Yeah, Jamie, you we're talking about how it's a slick track. What were some of the keys that you found helpful to get around this track while it was so slick?
Staying low, getting as close to the tires as possibly at the apex of the corners. The lower you were, the better you were, as long as you didn't hit the tires. Because if you could keep them from getting the run on you off the corner low, you could keep them behind you, and that's actually how I was able to, finish in the top three.
Absolutely. Well, Jamie, before we let you go here tonight, anybody you need to thank?
Just you guys and everybody in the league for clean racing.
All right. Well, again, congratulations on a top 3 finish here tonight. We'll let you celebrate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. Again, that was our 3rd place finisher tonight, Aiden Schramm. Excuse me, Jamie Howell. All right, I don't see our 2nd place finisher tonight, Dakota Osborne, but I do see our winner waiting, so we'll get to talk to him. Hey, Aiden, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, another fantastic race for you tonight, coming away with a victory here at the Kokomo Speedway. Had to pass a couple cars there in the feature. You were really fast, took advantage of the restarts, the initial start of the race and the restart, and made some great moves there. Tell us how you were able to get it done.
Yeah, mainly all it was just running the top. And then, like, on that first restart, whoever, Wilson, I don't know who that was, 51 car, he would always go on green, and I knew that from the heat, so I knew exactly when he would restart, so I really got a good jump there. Yeah, just really ran right above that slick the whole time. I know in Jamie Howell's interview, because I was listening to it, he said that he ran the bottom. And to be honest, I don't know how he did that. Every time I went to the bottom, I would just spin my tires.
Yeah, we've definitely seen it affect the drivers tonight as they work through 3 and 4. You know, that slick spot, if you were kind of in the middle to low line and a driver was on the outside driver always prevailed because, like you said, you would start spinning the tires. We could even see it, the car would kick out a little bit and lose momentum. So you were definitely able to navigate that well tonight. Tim, do you have anything to ask Aiden?
Yeah. What was your thought process on getting around the track? What did you find most successful?
Well, just staying above that slick mainly, like I was saying, because the bottom was like gone at that rate, and all that spinning the tires, and then I could tell you on lap 13 when that mid-race yellow came out. I don't know if anyone saw that, but normally I would run like on the top and cushion, but I stayed behind the pace car more like towards the bottom, and I was kind of going through the lines because I didn't know that there's a slick developing on the bottom, and then I had relative pulled up, and I could see I was losing a lot of time in 1 and 2, and I was just spinning my tires. So then that restart or caution, I kind of took the chance to reset my lines, kind of get back going, and also to that point about spinning tires in 3 and 4, and to the gear ratio thing. If we could change our gear ratios, it would definitely. Yeah, I don't think guys would be spinning their tires if they knew how to change their gear ratios, right? But yeah, I wish we could build our own setups, but
Absolutely. Maybe that's something the admins will take into consideration going forward. But before we let you go tonight, Aiden, anybody you need to thank?
first off, I would like to thank the sponsor that sponsored me for these last 2 races. I forgot to thank him last time, but Beyond the Garage, it's a cool NASCAR server. One of my friends owns it, and his brother decided to put that on the car for me. So I'd like to thank Jason Housekeeper. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, I'd like to thank Jason. He tuned in tonight. Um, Gave me some words of encouragement over text. Then I'd also like to thank all my friends and family who were watching tonight. Then I'd also like to thank my sponsors, Fast Cash Racing Products. They have some cool button boxes and cool stuff that you can get. I'd also like to thank Premier for giving me the opportunity to race for them. Use code SHRAM15 for your 15% off all your individual setup packs. I'd also like to thank sponsors of Premier Rocket Racing Graphics and Unrivaled Cinematography. And then I'd also like to thank Victory Fuel for sponsoring me too. Use code AS86 for 10% off Victory Fuel.
All right, Aiden. Again, big congrats on the victory here tonight. We'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to wrap up our interview portion of tonight's events. Closing thoughts from you, Tim, as we have now done our second of 2 Reigel Promotions Esports Extreme Micro Tour races of this season.
I think it goes back to last week. Just something new, interesting, interesting car choice. Something new from iRacing as well. So it's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely had a good time as always. Again, definitely want to thank the admins over at Reigel Promotions Esports, Ben Wirt and Andrew Reigel, giving us the opportunity to come in and bring the live action to you folks at home, filling in for the regular broadcaster of this series. Always appreciate that. Appreciate the support of Reigel Promotions Esports. Upcoming for us Sunday night, we'll be live with the League of Outlaws for the next race in their series. They talked about maybe a special event on Sunday night, like an exhibition style. We'll see how that pans out, but we will be live Sunday night with the League of Outlaws, so come on out, be a part of that with us right here on the Buckeye Racing Network. We'll go live shortly after 9 p.m. Eastern on Sunday night, but that's going to do it for us tonight from the Kokomo Speedway. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night, everybody.